Hello. Today I am going to recap a 2004 South Korean wartime action drama film called Taegukji, The Brotherhood of War. Buckle up. In 2003, while digging up remains at a Korean War battlefield to set up a memorial site, a South Korean Army excavation team notifies an elderly man, Lee Jin-sok, that they identified some remains as his own belonging to a Lee Jin-sok, even though he is still alive. The elderly man asks if the remains are that of Lee Jin-tae's, who is Lee Jin-sok's brother, but is informed by the caller that the remains indeed are of a Lee Jin-sok, probably someone of the same name. 53 years earlier, in June 1950, the Lee family goes about their lives in the South Korean capital of Seoul. Lee Jin-sok is a student. Lee Jin-tae owns a shoeshine stand to pay for his younger brother Jin-sok's education. Jin-tae has also bought them a silver pen, a precious item the brothers share, and is working on a pair of immaculate shoes for his brother to wear to school. Jin-tae's and Jin-sok's mother runs the Lee's noodle shop, while Jin-tae's fiancé, Young Shin, works at the noodle shop. Jin-tae's and Jin-sok's father had passed away earlier. On June 25, 1950, war breaks out between North Korea and South Korea when North Korea invades South Korea. Both brothers are forcibly conscripted into the South Korean army. They are assigned to the 1st Infantry Division, fighting at the Pusan perimeter before advancing north upon the successful U.S. amphibious landing at Incheon. During one of the initial battles, Jin-sok has difficulty breathing, although Jin-sok eventually gets through it. Later, Jin-tae asks his superior if Jin-sok can be sent to a hospital. The superior tells him that if he can earn the highest award for a South Korean soldier, the Taeguk Cordon of the Order of Military Merit, his brother can be sent home. Jin-tae volunteers for many dangerous missions and performs suicidal acts of bravery to earn the medal. For example, he volunteers for a mission to plant mines at the defense lines, which is right under the enemy's noses. When Jin-tae returns from the mission, Jin-sok demands to know why Jin-tae volunteers for the mission, but Jin-tae does not answer him. Jin-sok demands that Jin-tae not to do it again, and Jin-tae promises. In another mission, a night offensive against the North Koreans, Jin-tae single-handedly rushes a machine gun bunker and single-handedly clears the bunker. Lee Jin-tae is promoted to sergeant for his bravery and exploits. Later that night, Jin-sok asks Jin-tae to forget about the medal, telling him that Jin-tae is the only brother he has and they have to go back alive. Jin-sok also tells Jin-tae to think about Young Shin and the rest of the family, not just Jin-sok. During the Battle of Pyongyang, Jin-tae performs valiantly again. He rushes a North Korean machine gun outpost, stationed on top of a building, and overcomes several enemy soldiers in there. He then commandeers the machine gun and turns it against the enemy soldiers. From there he notices a North Korean army captain escaping. He orders Yong Man and Kim to go with him to capture the captain. Jin-sok says that this is not their business and the 3rd platoon is waiting for them on the way out. Jin-tae ignores him and orders them to pursue the captain. Eventually, Jin-tae tracks down the captain, who is escaping in a jeep. Jin-tae shoots the jeep driver, and the jeep crashes. Jin-tae engages the captain in a fistfight and manages to subdue and capture the captain alive. However, Yong Man, while trying to help Jin-tae, is shot and killed in the process. Back at their camp, Jin-tae has been told by his superior that he has been nominated for the medal. Jin-tae tells Jin-sok he can go home soon and go back to school, but Jin-sok rejects him and says he is not going home. Jin-sok asks Jin-tae who the medal was really earned for and says it cost Yong Man's life. Just then, sirens blare out as it is learned that the Chinese have entered the war on the North Korean side. This forces the UN coalition to retreat all the way back to Seoul. Later, at a stop at Jangdan near the 38th parallel, for his bravery and actions during the numerous battles and for going beyond the call of duty, Jin-tae is finally awarded his medal. The commander apologizes that this should have been a formal occasion. Back in their hometown, Jin-sok reunites with Young Shin. Their reunion is short-lived as a South Korean militia shows up and arrests Young Shin, who is accused of joining the Communist Party. Jin-sok resists but is outnumbered and brought to a jail. Young Shin and other suspected communists are about to be executed when Jin-tae shows up, stopping the executions. The militia says that Young Shin signed up for the Communist Party, participated in numerous communist rallies and worked for the Communist Party. Young Shin says she only did it for food as the South Korean government gave them nothing. Jin Sok manages to escape the jail and joins Jin Tae to attempt to stop the militia. A struggle ensues and Young Shin is shot dead. The brothers are arrested for trying to rescue her. In jail, Jin Tae asks the security commander to release Jin Sok from prison, saying his commander said Jin Sok could go home if Jin Tae had a medal. The security commander refuses. Later, when the enemy forces approach and attack their position, Jin Tae threatens the security commander at gunpoint, ordering him to release Jin Sok. Instead, the security commander orders the prison set afire with the prisoners inside. The security commander's soldiers set the prison on fire. Jin Tae rushes to rescue his brother, but on his way, a shell explodes nearby Jin Tae, causing him to lose his consciousness. When Jin Tae wakes up, he finds the silver pin in the ashes, and believes Jin Sok died in the fire. He picks up a rock and bludgeons the surrendering prison warden to death before being captured by Chinese soldiers. In truth, however, Jin Sok had been transferred to a military hospital after barely escaping, rescued by Uncle Yang, a now disabled veteran from their old unit. Uncle Yang and Jin Sok catch up, and Jin Sok passes him a letter which was sent by Jin Tae home but was returned to camp. Jin Sok learns that his brother had defected to the North Koreans and now leads an elite North Korean formation known as the Flag Unit. Jin Sok reads the letter from Jin Tae which was meant to be sent home. The letter is addressed to their mother, telling her to stay well, promising to keep Jin Sok safe, and telling their mother to say hello to Young Shin. Jin Sok decides to rejoin the army, which has by now retaken all of South Korea with UN support. He demands to be allowed to join the latest attack, at the 38th parallel, saying that if Jin Tae sees that he is alive, Jin Tae will return. The commander however denies his request and orders Jin Sok to remain at the base. Jin Sok abandons his post and runs towards the North Korean side, and is captured by the North Korean soldiers. He says to his captors he is Jin Tae's brother and asks to see him. The North Koreans, however, believe Jin Sok is a spy and are about to take him away for interrogation when their position is attacked by US and South Korean forces. The attack frees Jin Sok, who continues his search for Jin Tae as the position is captured in a vicious hand-to-hand battle. Before the UN forces can secure their gains, however, the Flag Unit arrives, tearing into them with Jin Tae at its head. The brothers come face to face, but, not recognizing Jin Sok, Jin Tae attempts to kill him. Jin Tae is about to shoot Jin Sok when another South Korean soldier stabs Jin Tae in the side, briefly incapacitating Jin Tae. Jin Tae stabs that soldier back and collapses on the ground. Jin Sok attempts to carry him away but is shot in the leg. With both of them wounded, Jin Sok tries to get Jin Tae to get up and get away with Jin Sok. Jin Tae still does not recognize Jin Sok. Jin Sok pleads with Jin Tae to remember their mother, to exhort him to take care of Young Shin's grave, and to live to see Jin Sok go to college. Jin Tae finally recognizes his younger brother, and the two have a tearful reunion. Their reunion is cut short, however, as the North Koreans force back the US and South Korean troops. Jin Tae orders his brother to save himself, but Jin Sok refuses. Jin Tae mentions that he is working on a pair of shoes for Jin Sok and will not die as he has not finished making them. Jin Tae promises they will meet again, and Jin Sok eventually relents and limps away to safety. While Jin Sok is escaping, Jin Tae gets on a machine gun and provides cover fire for his younger brother and the other retreating South Koreans. Eventually, however, Jin Tae is shot by the North Korean soldiers. He turns back one last time to see if his brother has escaped, and finally dies to his injuries. In 2003, the elderly Jin Sok stands at the excavation site. The remains initially identified as his are those of Jin Tae. He examines Jin Tae's few excavated belongings, including their long-lost silver pen, and begs his brother's skeletal remains to speak to him, quoting his promises as his granddaughter looks on with sympathy. Back in the 1950s, in the aftermath of the Korean War, Jin Sok discovers the shoes to which his brother had dedicated himself to perfecting. Jin Sok also reunites with his mother, who has also survived. Jin Sok heads off with young Shin's younger siblings in a now peaceful, but ruined, Seoul as the nation begins rebuilding. He reassures them that he will return to school, fulfilling the promise he made to Jin Tae. I hope you enjoyed this recap. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments what did you think.